I want to talk about the goal, but I also want to talk about his spot in the team now and maybe James Maddison's spot in the team, because for me, I feel like Pape Sarr should be ahead of James Maddison. I think he gives more balance to that midfield. I think he gives us more bite in the midfield, more defensive now, and now he's contributing with the goal contributions as well. Maybe obviously James Maddison is a better attacking player than Pape Sarr, but I think the way Pape is playing at the moment, I think it's really hard to ignore him. I'll start with you, Rick.
I think it's just based on who we're playing, if I'm going to be honest with you, Ben. I think what Pape does offer, and you've said it before, is, he's got, it's going to go down really well. Can I just say before I say this, I'm a married man, right? Okay. He's got unbelievable legs. And what I mean by that is the way he gets around the pitch. There's very few players that can actually glide so elegantly across the pitch in the way he does it. And you know what? The guy can finish. I think a third, fourth goal already. He loves the cups for Spurs this season. I think what we saw last season was that he really did explode onto the scene. And for me, I've never questioned his ability. It's been consistency being the thing about, can we keep that consistency with Pape? And I think, look, he found it very hard at the beginning of this season because he was away, of course, on international duty. And that's always difficult for a player. I always think, do you know what? Sometimes the second season fully in a Premier League campaign for a player can actually be harder to adjust than the first season in a bizarre way. That might sound crazy for some to hear that, but it really can affect the player. But I think Sarr's got an unbelievable future ahead of us. The biggest frustration I actually had with the goal last night is that there was some trying to claim it was an Ortega mistake, but I just thought it was an unbelievable placed finish that was beautifully executed to perfection. And what's clear actually about Lil love about this when I say this, they've been working on that. Because the move and the way it was executed shows you that is not just a one-off. That has been done on the training ground. Credit to Ryan Mason. I think Ryan does do the attacking set pieces as well. And I think it was done so constructively well. Beautiful finish. And I think Sarr's got a big, big future at the club. And I think it is a case, Ben, for me, it's about depending on the games that we're playing rather than being a first-team starter. I do think, though, to your point, I don't want to take away from it. We might come on to it in a second. I think James Maddison's place is really under threat now because you can't say we really missed him last night. And I think Kulu really, his rise now in that central position will be putting Madders' nose out of joint. But again, look, it's a squad game. You're going to need all your players. We know Maddison's got the ability. Again, it's that word consistency that's so crucial in football.
So who starts for you in the middle two? Obviously, one of Bentancur, Basuma in the six. And Deki? Who starts alongside him? Who takes that spot against Villa?
I mean, for me, I probably would say based on where we're at the moment, I think Kulu's just been undroppable. Kulu, Bentancur, Sarr.
Yeah, same for me, I think.
I can't see at the moment.
But Macca, forget bend it like Beckham, bend it like Pape. What was that all about last night?
Yes, it was absolute. I mean, we were, obviously all of us, but we were out of our seats. We were like, whoa, did that just happen? It had it's slightly different, but it had vibes of Anderton to Sheringham corner routine back in the day where they always scored the near post.
One for the youngsters, that one, Macca.
Yeah, one for the youngsters. Exactly. But no, really good. I mean, I agree. I think he's putting out a goal and an assist, isn't he? Every other game now.
I'm glad you brought that up. I can give you the exact numbers. In his last 334 minutes, he's got 5 goals and assists. That's a goal and assist every 66 minutes.
There you go, Tim. That's what I'm talking about right there. So I think you got a right shout there but I do agree. I do agree with you, Rick. I think it's depending on the game, depending on the opposition. But it's quite interesting to see that we could have done with Sarr. Sarr's legs, as Ricky, you've been eyeing up his legs. Sarr's legs. We've got Christina, one of our own, on last one of Spurs pod. She loves a bit of Jack Grealish's legs. I'm not sure. We've got Ricky loving Sarr's legs, and Christina's loving Jack Grealish's legs. I don't know what's going on. Where are we going? So I just think that he offers something different. I think what's quite interesting as well, when Maddison got hooked, let's use the word hooked because it's more sensational, isn't it? He got hooked at half time. He created 5 chances in that first half, didn't he? So it's not as even if Maddison's been playing bad either. I mean, everyone was a total tip against Palace, but he's not actually been playing bad either. I thought he had a good game when he captained deciding in Europe as well. So I think it's a good problem to have, isn't it? We've been
of course it is.
is going, oh my God, don't put on Højbjerg or don't do this or oh my days, we ain't got this. Now we've got Bentancur and Basuma that can seamlessly just rotate and we're not even worried. We've got Sarr, Maddison, Kulusevski. We can rotate. We're not that fast. You know, that's a really good problem to have. Do you know what I mean? And be able to, I think I agree. Is Decky is undroppable, but he also offers you that ability to, even if you do start him in the middle, you can put him wide later on in the game if need be. So there's that element of, I'm not saying his utility, but he can do that. Does that make sense? So very, very attractive, ripping up the stats books. But Sarr, mate, he's starting for me against Villa 100% because I think he's the boy. The boy's on fire.
Can I say one thing, boys? To squeeze if you don't mind.
Sorry, Rick. It just go on age. These people, Kulu, right? The Decky, he looks like a freaking ox, doesn't he? He's only 24. He's only just turned 24. Yeah. And Pape Matar only just turned 22.
I know, it's crazy.
When I say this, and please don't vilify me, we are Tottenham TV, beautiful fans out there, viewers and listeners, that I'm not saying when I say this I don't want signings, okay, just to be clear, but there's not that significant drop-off like there has been in previous seasons as Maka touches upon there about the squad. You know, last night you've got the likes of Dragishin coming in there, you know, for example, as a player that you don't feel as worried as what you did with no disrespect when Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez were coming in at centre-back. You know, there's that confidence that we're not as, you know, dropping a significant level with that. You know, again, even like with the options we've got out wide. So I think, you know what, the only thing that does concern me at the moment, and we don't know Mickey's extent of his injury with his hamstring. We're going to be honest and say it doesn't look good. Let's not kid around the bush. It doesn't look good. He, at the end, was very much, I think, looked very disappointed at the end. He was clapping the fans. But you could see...
Poo himself. I mean, have you seen that? Like, it's weird.
I've seen it. I don't think it's... everyone's saying that. I think it's just a bit of dirt that fell out of his shorts.
No, it's weird. He was like having a little touch and a scratch or whatever, and all of a sudden this thing comes out. You're thinking, "Hey, mate, you just have a turnout."
You're opening the dog shit on the pitch. God, come on.
Right, he shits when he wants. He shits when he wants. He shits when he wants.
If it turns out that was a shit and he hasn't got an injury,